Well, it's been 10 days now since the 11,000 crore PNB fraud came to light. Investigative agencies continue to probe the case, making fresh arrests and attaching more assets belonging to Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi. If it was luxury cars yesterday, it's all about high-end watches today. Charlene D'Souza has all the updates in this report.
The Enforcement Directorate today has seized shares worth Rs 13.86 crores which belong to Nirav Modi and his company, and has also attached bank accounts which had a sum of Rs 30 crores. Now the Enforcement Directorate has also found a huge amount of imported watches which were stacked away in boxes and also in containers. Now this comes after ED's move yesterday to attach his luxury cars which include a Rolls-Royce and a Porsche. The Enforcement Directorate also attached shares and mutual funds which belong to Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi. Now the total sum of this, according to an ED official, is close to Rs 100 crores or could go a little above that. The Central Bureau of Investigation also interrogated 3 PNB officials in relation to this scam.
Thanks for that, Charlene. Meanwhile, the Income Tax Department has attached 144 bank accounts of the Gitanjali Group. The total credit balance of these accounts is slightly above 20 crore rupees. The IT Department is also said to have attached 12 more accounts of the Rotomac Group, in addition to the 14 accounts attached earlier. And despite the mounting pressure from investigative agencies, Nirav Modi's lawyer, Vijay Agarwal, seems very confident that the case against his client won't stand. What gives him this much confidence? And will Nirav Modi come back? Those and other questions to Vijay Agarwal up ahead on the show. Please stay tuned for that on Primetime Debate. Meanwhile, according to news agency ANI, the Finance Ministry has written to 4 Indian bank branches in Hong Kong that received LOUs from PNB. Letters were sent to SBI, Axis Bank, Allahabad Bank and Bank of India, instructing them to reconcile accounts and check for irregularities. The Finance Ministry has also directed banks who have received LOUs from PNB to appoint a special representative or an agency to monitor the status for all loans above 250 crore rupees.
And if PNB was looking for the government to come to its rescue, it is likely to get a stern message. Sources say that the Finance Ministry will ask PNB to compensate other lenders for the loss incurred by them after the 11,000 crore fraud broke out. Vrishti Beniwal gets us the details.
PNB will have to take a hit in this case. The Finance Ministry sources are telling us it's once all the liabilities are determined, it's PNB which will have to honor all the bona fide transactions, and if investigation finds that other banks are also involved and there is a fault on their part, then the losses will have to be apportioned accordingly. But PNB will have to absorb most of the losses. Now, how does the bank do it? There are a few steps to it. One is the government has made it clear they are not going to increase recapitalization for PNB in this case, and PNB will have to sell its non-core assets, which they have already started doing, and then they'll get some money from write back of Bhushan Steel. So that is how it will get money for absorbing these losses. The Finance Ministry sources are also telling us that they have written to PNB as well as other public sector banks on ensuring their systems are foolproof, there are no loopholes, and a repeat of this doesn't happen in future. So they'll have to change their technology and report to their boards that everything is fine and there are no risks. Sources are telling us everything will be in place in next 2 weeks.
Well, in the aftermath of the PNB fraud, Bloomberg News reports that SEBI is planning to revive a plan to make it mandatory for listed firms to disclose any loan default. Companies now have to report to exchanges if they have defaulted on any of their interest payments or loan payments. This is intended to restore some normalcy in the banking sector after the detection of the PNB fraud. This is also likely to help speedier recognition and clean up bad loans in the banking sector.
Meanwhile, the Reserve Bank of India has set April 30th as the deadline for banks to integrate SWIFT, the technology, with core banking solutions. This move is intended to strengthen internal controls in banks in the wake of the PNB scam, which revolves around SWIFT, the technology. Branch officials of PNB fraudulently issues letters of undertaking to Nirav Modi-linked companies without making entries in the CBS. CBS is a software used to support a bank's transaction. RBI had earlier warned banks on 3 occasions to put SWIFT systems in place.